Problem number 15 says evaluate the indefinite integral. The integral of 1 divided by x squared times the square root of x squared minus 49, and we're integrating with respect to x. Start by acknowledging what kind of form do you think we could use? Well, I have the square root of x squared minus 49. And so we can say that this is a secant form. So let's use trigonometric substitution. So what if we let x equal, it has to equal a secant theta. Well, our a is 7. So x is equal to 7 secant theta. So if we differentiate, we have dx is equal to 7. The derivative of secant is just secant tangent. And we're differentiating with respect to theta now. And so when we use this to rewrite our integral, we can say our du becomes dx, or 7 secant theta tangent theta. And then we have x squared, which is 49 secant squared theta, times the square root of 49 secant squared theta minus 49. And let's factor out a 49 from in the square root. So we have the square root. So let me just rewrite everything. (49 secant squared theta) times the square root of, we factor out a 49, and so we're just left with secant squared theta minus 1. And now using an identity, we can say that secant squared theta minus 1 is equal to tangent squared theta. And so now we have 7 divided by 49 secant theta tangent theta d theta divided by secant squared theta times 7 tangent theta, because this is 49 tangent squared theta, and when you take the square root of both of those, you just get 7 tangent theta. Well, now observe that these cancel. The 7s would actually cancel, and now we're just left with 1 over 49 times the integral of 1 over secant theta d theta, which this is just 1 over 49 times the integral of cosine theta d theta. Well, cosine theta would just go back to sine theta, so now we have 1 over 49. So when we take the antiderivative, this becomes 1 over 49 sine of theta plus c. But we're not quite finished, because we have a theta now, and we started off with an x. And so now we have to solve for theta. Well, if we go back to this original equation, we can say x divided by 7 is equal to secant theta, or observe that secant theta is 1 over sine theta, or secant theta is 1 over cosine theta. And so what that means is, if we have this triangle and we have our theta right here, secant theta is 1 over cosine theta. Or using this equation, we can say that cosine of theta equals 7 divided by x, which means cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And so the adjacent side would be this side, and so this would be 7 over hypotenuse, which is x. And so if we wanted to find this third side, it would have to be the square root of x squared minus 49. Well, if we want to solve for theta in this case, we would just have to take the arcs. We would have to take the arcsecant function of both sides, and so we have arcsecant of x divided by 7 is equal to theta. Or now I can replace that over here, and so now I have 1 over 49 times sine of arcsecant of x divided by 7 plus c. And so this would be my final answer.